Hi there, I'm Henry, and today we are going to have a look at the Sviga P II or the Sviga P II planar magnetic open back headphone. I normally don't do unboxings, but I have to say that unboxing this pair of headphones was such a great experience that let's go over to my kitchen table for a while and I will show you what it was like or what it is or will be like to unbox these things. Alright, so welcome to the unboxing. First of all, even the box, I wouldn't say it feels more quality. It's still a cardboard box, but usually they have this slippery kind of feel, and this one almost feels like it's made from recycled paper. I have no idea if it is or isn't, but it looks good. It looks like a different and a more modern approach. Which already is very enjoyable. And now let's see if we can open it. So then next you will see this hard leather or fake leather or whatever it is case. And the story of the box just continues where it looks good, it feels really solid, so you definitely feel that somebody has thought of the looks and also the practical side of having this. The zipper is like fantastic quality, so it means that this box is meant to last. And it's not a review for the zipper, but it is an important detail as it just shows that there's a surprising amount of dedication and just planning gone into presenting you this headphone and also keeping it safe in the future. So here come the headphones. Let's actually, let's build up to the headphones. You will find this little box inside. So this is where the wire is. Looks beautiful. It looks and it feels good, which is, sometimes you can get one or the other, but this one, this coil will not twist around itself, or it will not do any of the funky things that you might expect from wires, or that problems that can happen. And then, using this one is just an overall very smooth experience, and it looks really good. And then there's a little, what we call, I think it's made from linen or cotton. Again, I'm not the expert of materials, but in Estonia we have these huge potato bags, and there's a joke that people used to get married in big potato bags. So it's a very simple bag, but it just shows a little bit of a different approach. And in here you have the adapter that goes into the 3.5 millimeter. And again, like all the connectors and stuff, it just looks great. Better than many $1,000 headphones. So let's get the bubble wrap off from here. And then here's the headphone itself. The wooden parts are great to touch and just feel great. They feel heavy in just the right way, where it's not too heavy, but it just feels solid, and you can see in every part of the build that these ones will last forever. So again, way above my expectations. There's no parts here that feel cheap in any way. There's a beautiful glare of these covers here, the driver covers. And again, just adding to the whole set that we have here. And then the ear pads, they're thicker from behind your head. So they've built the way that your head is shaped. And again, every detail, everything that you look at here just tells that somebody has put in a lot of thinking into how to make them feel good, make them look good, and also make them last for a long time. That's it. Let's move on to the sound. Welcome back. So now that you've seen unboxing these things, let's talk about how they sound. Overall, they are a dark sounding planar, or they have a dark sound signature, meaning that the high frequencies are very well controlled. They will never hurt you. and there's like a little dip in there that I will talk about more later on during the review. And at the same time, their bass or even like any part of the lower frequencies are very well presented, and they have a lot of low-end power. So it's a really enchanting experience, or it makes you want to dance. In addition to having great detail, they have a lot of vibe in them. Let's say it like that. So let's start from the bass. Like I already said, the bass hits very, very well, and this, like the low mids, also add to that. There is a lot of sub bass power, not like bass cannon level hard sub bass power. You wouldn't compare them to, let's say, like some consumer grade bass heavy, like extra bass headphones. But coming from a professional perspective, then they have a lot of low-end energy. And the low mids are also very much there. It's quite a warm sounding experience. And you will definitely, in all music, you will notice a lot of the lower percussions, like kicks and toms, are very well presented. Also, any bass sounds, you will, in addition to having a lot of sub, you will also definitely automatically focus on any kinds of textures the bass might have. Like, I don't know, is it a growl, or is it more like a slimy sound? Or, is it a double bass, or instead is it like a bass guitar? Then the characteristics that make these instruments, different from each other, for any kind of low instrument that sits in the lower range of the frequency spectrum, you get like very clear and very enjoyable experiences of these. Then this sort of goes into the mids as well. Like the mids are, once again, I'd say slightly dominant, even though overall it feels quite balanced. Then the mids are slightly dominant, and again, they are even a tiny bit dominant over the bass. So I would say the bass and the mids are very much connected in this like one single experience of what like the entire lower part of the track is doing. As far as the speed of the driver, both in the bass and the mid range, it's I would say it's very natural. These headphones don't sound particularly fast, but they definitely don't sound slow either. And I think in this case, sounding natural is a great thing that you will enjoy. Now, coming to the high frequencies, there is a lot of detail, but the detail is not forced on you at all. So they're way more detailed than your $100, I don't know, whatever headphones that usually people have. But you're gonna have to sit and listen to the detail. So these are very much headphones that you can, put on your head and really forget about them. They are incredibly comfortable. They sit super well on your head, and just they feel great, and they feel kind of relaxed on your head. Like they definitely weigh quite a bit, but you don't feel the weight on your head in a bad way. And this very much is like similar to the way their high frequencies present themselves. It's very much like quality, a lot of detail, but like I said, it's never throwing itself at you, or it would never offend your ears. And that's where I would say that it's kind of like a little bit of a dark sound as well. That, if you want something that's super detailed, super high frequency rich, then these are not for you. But, if you want quality stuff that you can also enjoy, just lay back and have a good time without being super attentive to everything that's going on, then these are definitely a good choice for you. Now I haven't checked the frequency chart, but I think somewhere on the high frequencies there's quite a dip. I don't know exactly where it is, but this, first of all, from the good side, this is what takes care of the fact that this will never ever offend your ear. And you know, this is what at the same time makes them feel punchy, because somewhere in the highs there's a bit of a recession. So having many benefits with that, there's one problem, and I know many people have talked about the same, well, have noticed the same fact when it comes to their own pair of these headphones, is that vocals never sound quite intimate or quite close to you. They are always one step away. And this, I would say, is actually the only negative thing I can say about this headphone, and it's very much so that even if you take like the most fragile or most sensitive recordings, where the singer is supposed to be like almost like scratching your ear or doing this ASMR thing, then with these it just feels like it's off somewhere a little bit. You might not even notice it, but I definitely did. And even though the vocals are great with it, then they do feel a little bit distant. And it's funny that this happens only with the vocals, because when it comes to percussions or just instruments of any kind, then you don't get that effect. So that's interesting. You know, it might bother you, it might not. If you're a special fan of vocal music, don't get these. But you know, if vocals are a great addition to your music and they're not the dominant center of what you're listening to or what you're working on, then I think it probably won't be a problem for you. Now, imaging and soundstage, they have, like, it's interesting. You know, they don't sound like open back headphones. They're not wide by any means. They definitely have a very tight stereo image, or soundstage is very tight. It's confined to a very strict, you know, like, I don't know, bubble or however you want to call it, but it's definitely like very close to you. But at the same time, the good side of it is that the stereo imaging of, you know, what is where is definitely very precise, considering this price range for sure. If I compare them to, I don't know, my Odyssey planar headphones, which are twice the price, then definitely the whole stereo spectrum, or not, like the whole music, let's say, it just opens up more. There's more distance between the different elements, and everything is sort of in its own space, and all the large reverbs really come from like further away. So this is more of like a tight package, where you get like very well controlled, very detailed presentation of music. But at the same time, even though it doesn't have this immersive effect, then any kinds of reverbs and the spaces that the music has been recorded in, or just, I don't know, just placed in the studio, then they actually, you hear them really well, and they're presented to you in a really good way. So, you know, if you're the kind of guy who doesn't just listen to the kick drum and the, I don't know, singer and then the main synth, if you also enjoy listening to the little echoes and spaces where everything is in, then the information, I think, is very well presented. Would I recommend these headphones? Absolutely. I was not ready, definitely not ready to even hold them in my hands for this price. Like, they feel better than many $1,000 headphones, and I wouldn't say they sound better than many $1,000 headphones, but in their price, I think it's a steal. It's a great deal. So yes, I absolutely recommend these headphones. So if you have those headphones, or if you plan on having them, tell me in the comments, you know, if you receive them, tell me what you think of the sound. You know, I'm always open for discussion, and I enjoy audio, so, and obviously you do too if you're looking at this review. So just so you know, the comment section is there, and I'm always happy to open a discussion and see where it takes us. All right, you have a good day. Bye.